Hello friends, welcome back. In today's lecture, I am Dr. Milind Meshram, working as an assistant professor in the Department of Chemistry, KTHM College, Nasik. In the last lecture, we have seen the HNI reaction, where we have seen that reaction follows the second order kinetics, okay? But still, its mechanism is different from the mechanism of SN2 reactions. Alright. So in that reaction, the retention of configuration will be observed. Whatever configuration is present in reactant, it will retain in the product. Alright. So in today's lecture, we will see the preparation of alkyl halide. Alright. So there are several methods to prepare alkyl halides. So few of them we will see in this lecture. So let us start with the preparation of alkyl halide from the alkene. Okay. Preparation of alkyl halide. So first of all, we will see from the alkene. Alright. So we will see the preparation of alkyl halide. First of all, we will see the preparation of alkyl halide from the alkene. So we know this alkene is electron rich, so it can add to hydrogen halides. For example, HCl, HBr, HI, HF, and so on. Okay. So it will give the alkyl halide. Okay. So in fact, this reaction is carried out by passing the gaseous hydrogen halide into alkene. So some polar solvent like acetic acid can be used because this polar solvent acetic acid can dissolve both the substrate, okay, this alkene as well as hydrogen halide. So let us have its example. Suppose we have this alkene, okay. So when we treat with hydrogen halide in the presence of acetic acid, so it gives this halide. Okay, so this is alkyl halide. Alright, so this is the addition reaction. Okay, so this X HX to be HI, HBr, and SC. Alright, so here you can clearly see the H and X both are adding, this hydrogen adding to one of the carbon, and this X means halide ion can add one of the carbon. Okay, so in this way the addition reaction of this hydrogen halide with alkene takes place. Alright, so we have, so when you have this symmetric alkene, for example is ethene, when you add this HCl in acetic acid, so as I said, what hydrogen will add one of the carbon and this fluoride ion will add another carbon. So we could get this ethyl chloride. All right, ethyl chloride. Similarly, when you have this 2-butane, all right, 2-butene, and when you react this 2-butene with HCl in the presence of acetic acid, it gives it gives 2-chlorobutane. Okay, so these are here you can see the symmetrical alkene. One hydrogen will add one of the carbon, and this chloride ion is adding to another carbon. Okay, so this is the symmetric alkene. So if we add here, we are adding hydrogen at this carbon and chlorine at this carbon. Even if you add hydrogen at this carbon, okay, and chlorine at this carbon, product will be same, since this alkene is symmetrical. Okay, so let us have its mechanism. So it's a electrophilic addition. Electrophilic addition of hydrogen halide to alkene. All right, so here we will take the example 2-butene. All right, so we have this 2-butene, symmetric one. We are taking 2-butene. All right, so as I said, suppose we have this HCl. As I said, this alkene is electron rich, so it can give it acts as a nucleophile. Okay, so this hydrogen halide is having both the electrophile as well as nucleophile. Okay, so addition of this hydrogen halide is the easiest electrophilic addition reaction. All right, since this hydrogen halide provides both electrophile as well as nucleophile. Okay, so we know this hydrogen is having partial positive charge and this chloride, okay, this chlorine is having partial negative charge. So first of all, this hydrogen will add one of the carbon. Okay, so we can get this hydrogen will add over here, so it will generate this carbonium ion. This is the carbonium ion. Or carbocation. All right. So now here this chloride ion will get depart, okay, in this reaction. So since this acts as an electrophile, and this is the good leaving group. This is the good leaving group. Alright. So it will generate this carbocation. This is the first step. Step 1. In step 2, this chloride ion, this is the step 2, will add to this carbocation. Alright. So we can get this product. Okay. So this is the 2-chloro-butane. So in this way we can prepare this butyl chloride, that is 2-chloro-butane. Okay. So almost all hydrogen halide can participate in this manner. Okay, but they will have the different rates of electrophilic addition of that hydrogen halide. All right. So in the first step, what will happen? Since this butane is acting as a nucleophile, since it is electron rich, so it acts as a nucleophilic in nature. So it will add to this proton. Okay, this proton is electrophile. Okay, so this one proton will get attached to one of the carbon, and this chloride is a living group, so it will get departed. So it will form the carbocation, that is carbonium ion. In the second step, now here this carbocation is electrophile. Okay, so it will add to this chloride ion. It will attract the chloride ions. Okay, so this is the nucleophile. So we have so this is the nucleophile. So it can add to this carbocation to generate this 2-chloro-butane. So in this way, all the hydrogen halide can participate in this electrophilic addition reaction in same manner. However, they have the different rates of the reaction. Since the hydrogen halide bond, for example, HF, HCl, HBr, HR, the bond between the hydrogen and halide, the HX bond get weaker as the X size increases. Alright. So when you have the HF, HCl, HBr and HR, the HF bond is very strong. Okay. So it is very difficult to break that HF bond. So its reaction will be very slower than the hydrogen chloride, which is slower than hydrogen bromide, which in turn slower than hydrogen iodide. Alright. So let us have this rate of the reaction. So we will see the reaction rate depends on the two factors. So let us have those factors. There are two factors which affect the reaction rate. Reaction rate. Alright. So first factor is variation in the reaction rate when you change when you change the halogen, alright. So reaction rate will be depends on the hydrogen halide molecule, okay. So this reaction of this electrophilic addition of hydrogen halide will depends on the what kind of hydrogen halide is used, okay. So reaction rate will be increased when you have this will be increased when this halogen size is increases, okay. So it as the size of the halogen increases, the bond becomes weak, okay. So this HF reaction rate of this HF will be lower than this HCl. HCl rate is lower than the HBr, which in turn is less than HR. Alright. So here this HF bond, for example, this HF bond is strong bond, okay. So it is very difficult to break. So that means when this HF participate in the electrophilic addition of this alkene, so its rate of the reaction will be very slower, okay, slower than the HCl, okay. So reaction rate will be increases in this direction, and this bond will be weaker in this direction. Bond becomes weaker as the size increases. Size of the halogen increases. Alright. So here we can see the size of the halogen is increases, and because of that the bond becomes weaker, okay. So because bond becomes weaker, the reaction rate will increases, okay. So reaction rate will increases. So second factor also affect the reaction rate when variation in rate when you change alkene. Alright. So this factor is also very important to determine the reaction rate. For example, when you have this alkene, symmetrical alkene, here we are taking an example. When you have this alkene, so its reaction rate will be lesser than this this alkene, which in turn is lesser than this tetrasubstituted alkene. Okay. So in this series, the reaction rate of this alkene is lesser than this. Okay, this is disubstituted, so it is which in turn is less than this tetrasubstituted. Okay, so when you add Hx, suppose, so first of all, when you add Hx, first of all, so this hydrogen will get attached to one of the carbon. Okay, so we can generate this CH3 and this CH2. Okay, in this way. So here carbonium ion will form. In this case also, this R CH2 and this CH CHR, this carbocation will form. Okay, so in this case again this bond will break this way, CHR2 and this tertiary carbocation will form. Okay, so here when you add the HX hydrogen halide, so hydrogen will get attached to one of the carbon. It will generate the carbocation. This is the first step, step 1. All right. So carbonium ion will form. In this second molecule, similarly the hydrogen will get attached to one of the carbon, and this secondary carbocation will form. So in the same manner, hydrogen will add to one of the carbon and tertiary carbocation will form. So here you can see the stability determines the rate of the reaction. Okay. So as the stability increases, the rate of the reaction will also get increased. Okay. So we know this primary cation is less stable. Okay, than the secondary carbocation, and secondary carbocation is less stable than this tertiary carbocation. So stability will increases. Stability increases. That means the rate of the reaction will also increases. So as the stability increases, the rate of the reaction will also get increases. Alright. So these two factors are very important to determine the reaction rate of this particular electrophilic addition of hydrogen halide to alkene. Alright. So let us move to another topic. Addition to unsymmetrical alkene. So far we are seeing the addition of hydrogen halide to symmetrical alkene. Now let us have this addition of hydrogen halide to unsymmetrical alkene. Okay. Addition of hydrogen halide to unsymmetrical we have seen, the addition of hydrogen halide to symmetrical alkene, one of the hydrogen will add to one of the carbon, and this halide ion will add to other carbon. So in this case also hydrogen will add one of the carbon and halide will add one of the other carbon. Okay, so let us have the example. For example, we have this propene. All right, propene. When you treat this propane with HCl in the presence of acetic acid, it gives 2-chloropropane. All right, 2-chloropropane. So here, as we have seen before, hydrogen gets add one of the carbon and halide get add to another carbon. So this is the unsymmetrical alkene. This is unsymmetrical alkene. Okay, unsymmetrical alkene. So it follows the some rules. Okay, so when we add, our mechanism suggests that in the first step hydrogen will get attached to one of the carbon, okay, and will generate the carbocation. Okay, but in this case the major product, this is the major product, and it follows the addition of this hydrogen halide follows the Markovnikov rule. Okay, so what does it say? Markovnikov rule says that when you add the hydrogen halide to unsymmetrical alkene, hydrogen will add to the carbon where more number of hydrogens are present. All right, so what it means, when you add, for example, when you add this HCl, so first of all, in the first step, hydrogen will add to this carbon. Okay, hydrogen will add to this carbon like this. So it will generate this carbocation. Okay, so here it is adding hydrogen. According to the Markovnikov rule, the hydrogen should attach to the carbon where more number of hydrogens are present. All right, so it will generate this carbocation. This is the first step. Step 1. In the second step, we have this fluoride ion, so it will get attached in the second step. So this is the step 2. So we can get this final product. All right, so this we can get these products. So in this way it follows. So this is in line with the Markovnikov rule. Okay, so why it is happening so? Because when you add this HCl, it generates the secondary carbocation. Okay, so if you add this hydrogen to this carbon, so we would have get this primary carbocation, and primary carbocation is less stable than the secondary carbocation. That means this stability is very important, and this electrophilic addition of this particular hydrogen chloride, okay, is follows the Markovnikov addition. Alright. So in 1933, Kharash discovered the peroxide effects. Okay. So when you add this hydrogen halide to unsymmetrical alkene in the presence of peroxide, so it will generate anti-Markovnikov addition product. Okay, so that effect is called Kharash effect or peroxide effect. So let us have the example. Suppose when propene, when you have this propene reacts with HBr in the presence of peroxide, it gives N-propyl bromide. Alright, N-propyl bromide. It doesn't give this isopropyl bromide. Okay, so when you react alkene, this propene with HBr in the presence of peroxide, it gives the N-propyl bromide. Okay, so here this isopropyl bromide, it does not give the isopropyl bromide. So this reaction gives the anti-Markovnikov addition. Okay, so this is the anti-Markovnikov addition product. So reaction in the presence of peroxide and gives the anti-Markovnikov addition products. So this effect is called Kharash effect or peroxide effect. Okay. This effect is called Kharash effect or peroxide effect. Alright. So when you treat this alkene with HBr in the presence of peroxide, so it will generate the anti-Markovnikov addition product. Alright. So this peroxide effects, because of this presence of peroxide, this effect is called Kharash effect or peroxide effect. So it does not give the Markovnikov addition product. Okay. So this would be the Markovnikov addition. Markovnikov addition. Alright. So let us have its mechanism. So let us have one more example. When you have isobutene in the presence of peroxide, so it will give this primary alkyl halide. Alright, so this would be 1, 2, 3, 1 bromo, 1 bromo, 2 methyl, propane. And the chain is having 3 carbons, so it should be propane. Okay, so this bromine is at 1 carbon, so 1 bromo, 2 methyl propane. So this is the anti-Markovnikov of addition. Anti-Markovnikov addition product. Which shows the peroxide effect. Alright, so let us have its mechanism. In the presence of peroxide, this mechanism follows the free radical mechanism, and we know the peroxide is unstable. So we know the peroxide is unstable, so it can generate the free radicals. Alright, so when you have this peroxide like hydrogen peroxide, this is H2O2. Okay, so this peroxide will give free radical. So in this way, so this is the homolysis. So two free radicals will form. Okay, free radicals. Two free radicals will form. Okay, so when you break this bond, so one electron will carry this hydroxide. Okay, this hydroxyl group, one electron will go with this hydroxyl group, and one electron will go with this hydroxyl group. This is the homolysis to get these two OH free radicals. Alright, so as I said, hydrogen peroxide is unstable, so this mechanism follows the free radical mechanism instead of ionic mechanism, and this peroxide is unstable, so when you heat or exposed to sunlight, okay, so photochemically it can cleave to give these two free radicals. Alright, so this is in equilibrium. Okay, in the next step, when this OH free radical get add to HBr, then this Br free radical will generate. Okay, so it will generate this H2O molecule plus Br free radical. Okay, so this is free radical, Br free radical, and then the next step, so when you have this propene, okay, So this bond will also get break homolytically. Okay. So this Br3 radical will add to the less substituted carbon. Alright. So it will generate the secondary 3 radical this way. Okay. So this is the secondary 3 radical. So this is very stable. Okay. The stability of this free radical will affect this reaction. The stability will determine the product of this reaction. Okay. As the more substituents are there, as the substituents increases, substitution increases, the stability of this free radical will increases because of this inductive and hyperconjugation effect. Okay. So here this substitution is more if you would form this primary free radical. So in primary free radical substitution will be less. So because of that this free radical is more stable. So this finally this secondary free radical will add to the another molecule of this HBr. Okay. So this hydrogen will get add. So this hydrogen will get attached to this secondary free radical. Okay. Then we can get our product. This is 2-bromo propane. So this is how this reaction takes place. First of all, we know this addition of hydrogen halide to the unsymmetrical alkene in the presence of peroxide follows the free radical mechanism. Okay. So this peroxide is highly unstable, so it can cleave to this OH free radical in the presence of heat. When you heat this peroxide or exposed to sunlight, it will generate this free radical. The next step, this hydroxyl, this OH free radical will add to the HBr, so it will generate this Br3 radical along with the H2O molecule, and finally this bromine free radical will add to the less substituted carbon of this unsymmetrical alkene, so that it will generate the secondary free radical, which is more stable than the primary one. Okay, and finally this secondary free radical will add to the another molecule of HBr, and this hydrogen will get add to this secondary free radical to give this anti-Markovnikov addition products. So this is how this mechanism is. So this is all about the today's lecture. So in the next lecture we will see another method of the preparation of alkyl halide. Thank you.